What's up, guys? ChaseOliver68 here, bringing you another video to my channel. Guys, my head is fully recovered from last night's incident. I don't know what happened there. I guess the doctors told me not to make a video. I went straight to bed afterwards, and I'm feeling much more better. If you guys didn't see what happened, go check out my Raw review. And also, make sure you guys check out my Extreme Rules 2013 review. Both those videos are up, and I would appreciate if you guys go check them out. Keep sending in your questions via inbox here on YouTube or tweet me at ChaseOliver68. And while you're on at ChaseOliver68, follow me. So let's get started from the questions from Twitter at DukeFanForLife. Chemo32 asks me, what do you want the Timberwolves to change for the next season? And what does WWE need to do with Jack Swagger? For the Timberwolves, I want them to get a shooting guard, a center that doesn't get hurt every freaking minute. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Nikola Pekovic. I'm sick and tired of having players that are not consistently healthy. We need to be consistently healthy if we want to make a run, at least for the playoffs. I just would love to see the team in the playoffs. I don't care about a championship right now. We're a young team, and if we can make the playoffs, that would make me extremely, extremely happy. And what does WWE need to do with Jack Swagger? They've done enough with Jack Swagger. Only Jack Swagger can help his career. In all honesty, I don't know what WWE needs to do with Jack Swagger. He's kind of like, you know, in a rough place right now. He got in trouble with the weed and the drinking and all that other bullshit, DUIs, that it really hurt his career. And really, to be honest, it's going to be hard for him to bounce back from. Thank you for the questions. And moving on forward, Will Ferrell number 1 from Q&A number 15. What would your reaction be if Shane McMahon was a new owner and chairman of TNA? I think that I would be shocked. I would be shocked beyond all belief that Shane McMahon would even want to, you know, touch TNA. I would also be kind of relieved a little bit because now Dixie Carter's dumbass no longer holds the company. Someone with a smart wrestling mind does, but it will take a couple years before Shane McMahon can make that into a very, very good wrestling company. It would take a while. TNA also is not really the greatest expensive company. I think Shane is happy working in China doing whatever he's doing. Number 2, how did you get into the UFC? I got into the UFC because my dad was into the UFC at first, and he watched it. I caught a couple fights when I was little, but I didn't get it. I was more of a boxing fan growing up. I watched boxing before I watched UFC, so I was a huge boxing fan. I was always boxing, so I always liked fighting. And my dad, you know, happened to buy one of the UFC pay-per-views. He wanted to check it out himself, you know. And person that he works with told him, hey, go buy the UFC pay-per-view. So my dad was watching the UFC pay-per-view, and I kind of checked it out because I seen it on TV a couple times. I was like, you know what, I'm going to check it out. And there was Rich Ace Franklin. He was fighting Evan Tanner, and Rich Ace Franklin was supposed to be a guy that, you know, wasn't supposed to win this fight. And all of a sudden, he knocks the fuck out of Evan Tanner. I was very happy, and that's how I got into UFC. I was Rich Ace Franklin who got me into UFC. That's why he's my favorite fighter of all time. Number 3, do you think people in the YWC go too far when they say Johnson exploits sick children? No. I feel that's more of the WWE's fault for putting Cena in that position. And then people in the YWC, they just hate Cena, so they get upset. And so they blame Cena for bringing out these sick children from Make-A-Wish Foundation. In all honesty, it's not Cena's fault. It's not the Make-A-Wish's fault. It's the WWE's fault for promoting this stuff and showing it to our faces 24/7. Just remember, guys, WWE is a business, and they have to make their number 1 guy look good. They can't just make their number 1 guy look bad. I mean, they used to show Stone Cold all the time on WWF TV, going to news shows saying, hey, make sure you guys catch Stone Cold Steve Austin on the Today Show with Katie Couric. Hey, make sure you guys watch Stone Cold Steve Austin on the Tonight Show. You know, you have to promote your superstars, and that's what they're doing. I think some people just associate with John Cena, and they really, really get pissed off at it. But thank you for the questions, Will Ferrell. Next up, Clarkson440 asked me a question. Do you think the Shield is better than Nexus? Why or why not? Hell fucking yeah, the Shield is better than Nexus. Nexus sucked, man. I'm sorry, dude. Like, the Nexus, in all honesty, it really was not really that great of a faction. There was like only like 3 guys that I really thought could break out of the Nexus. Wade Barrett, Skip Sheffield, and Justin Gabriel. I'm not counting Daniel Bryan in the Nexus. No, Daniel Bryan was not in the Nexus. That was bad memories. But those are the only 3 guys I had hope for. Who was the other one? The guy that wore the fucking bandana over his face. I forgot his name. Darren Young is just teaming up with Titus O'Neil, sadly. Who else was in the Nexus? Heath Slater, he's doing something. Three-man band, jobbing to legends. In all honesty, the Shield is much more better than the Nexus because at least the Shield can win shit, while the Nexus, they can't win shit at all. They didn't know what to do with the Nexus. Like, honestly, they just kind of looked at them and said, hey, this seems like a good idea. You know, people are going to compare it to, like, the NWO of the past and all this other bullshit. But they just honestly couldn't do anything with it to make it worthwhile. So, definitely the Shield is better right now than the Nexus. Who are some of your favorite wrestlers of all time to never become world champions? Woo! That's a good question. Rikishi is one of them. I know that sounds weird, but when you're a little kid, Rikishi was fucking tight. And I always wanted him to become a WWE champion. I'm being dead honest here. Rikishi was definitely one of the guys that was one of my favorites growing up that never became the WWF champion. A lot of my favorites did become WWF champion. I was kind of like a little bandwagon bitch when I was a little kid. Some of my favorites. Let's go now. Kennedy. Well, he became a TNA world champion, so I guess I have to kick that out. MVP. Let's try to find someone in the 2004 range, 2003 range that I like. I'm trying to think because it's like really hard to think of guys that were some of my favorites of all time that never really won it. I know Rikishi for sure. I wish Rikishi ever always won one, but like in the 2000s, like I never really like most of the favorites that I did either became world champions like in the near future or just got released. Like Kennedy, I guess, and I liked Matt Hardy. I thought Matt Hardy could have had a run to win it. I mean, he's not a favorite of all time, but he's like a personal favorite that I thought could have had a chance to win a big world title. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm sorry if there's no really deep and emotional thing. Just remember, guys, I started watching wrestling like in 2000, so people back then, they're not. I like what they've done for the industry. They're definitely great historians and pioneers, but they're not considered my favorites of all time. So yeah. Clarkson440 also asked, what was the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you in your life? And it's okay, I won't laugh. Oh, you guys can laugh at this one. So, one time in class, I shit my pants. Straight up, I shit my fucking pants. We were reading a book. I believe it was like a school. Like, it was like, you know those, when you have English class and shit like that, you have to read in class and all that other bullshit. So, we were reading from our literature book and, you know, we were just reading from it. And all of a sudden, I felt like I needed to take a shit. So, I was like, I asked my teacher, I'm like, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom. And she's like, okay. And I go to the bathroom. As I'm walking, I'm just like, I feel like a fart coming. So I'm like, I don't know. I feel like this is a shit. I don't know if it's a fart. And so I'm like, fuck it. And I just, shit fucking came out of my ass. It was embarrassing. I was like, oh my God. I was looking around the halls to see if anyone saw. Fucking walking, shit's dripping down from my fucking shit. I'm like, oh fuck. Go to the bathroom. It's locked because our high school had this stupid rule. Because what happened in my high school was that there was always kids in the beginning 15 minutes of class would not go to class. They would just stay in the bathroom. I don't know why. They would just stay in the fucking bathroom. They would just stay there. They wouldn't really do anything. Like, kids would just go to the bathroom right when class started. And, you know, the school was like, you need 15 minutes to learn. You shouldn't be wasting your time in the bathroom. So the bathrooms were fucking closed. Thank God my coach, he had the keys. And pretty much he opened up the door. He was my offensive line coach. He opened up the door and we changed my pants. So if anyone's hearing this story for the first time that went to my high school, now you know. So yeah, that was pretty embarrassing. Luckily, no one was there. But if someone was there, I think I would be totally embarrassed. So you can laugh at that one. Final Limits 1 asked me, where did you gain weight when you were bulking up to build muscle, and why do we gain weight when we bulk? We gain weight when we bulk, Final Limits, because muscle weighs more than fat. So muscle obviously weighs more, so you're gaining weight. That's what it is. So don't feel like, for all you people that are gaining weight out there, don't feel like, oh, I'm gaining fatter because I gained like 2 pounds. No, you're probably gaining bulk. You're probably gaining some bulk to your muscle. And when I was lifting, most of my bulk came to my arms, my tricep, my shoulders, my back, my chest. Like, that's where my bulk is. Like, a lot of people misconceptions about lifting is like they think their abs are going to get ripped. Here's a tip for most of you guys that want to work out your abs. Make sure you lose weight first before you work on your abs, because that's how stretch marks form. There you go. And also if you're skinny and you become fat. So there you go. Do you like Nirvana? And if so, what's your favorite songs and members? Final one, I'm sorry to say it to you, I'm not a Nirvana fan. I've listened to some of their music, but I'm not a huge Nirvana fan. So I'm not like one of those guys that's like, oh my god, I love fucking music. I love this artist. I'm going to defend this artist and all this other stuff. I'm more of like a guy that's like, I'll listen to music because I think it's good. And if there's someone that I particularly really do like, I will listen to their shit a lot. So yeah, I don't hate Nirvana. I do like their stuff, but not a huge Nirvana fan. And number 3 is, what if John Cena was revealed as a member of Aces and Eights instead of Bully Ray? How would fans live at the time and us internet smarks react? Oh, I think fans at the time at Lockdown would definitely be still throwing trash in the ring. It would be weird as hell because, you know, you would think John Cena's a clean act boy. Why would he want to bring in the Aces and Eights? It doesn't really fit his character, so it would be definitely weird. I think the internet smarks would have a blast with it. I think a lot of people would say this is like one of the greatest things we've ever seen in wrestling. Or a lot of the Cena haters would probably say, great, now Aces and Eights is ruined for me if Aces and Eights was good in the first place. So it would be a mixed bag of internet smart reaction. We would either get internet smarts happy about it because they think it's something new and different to the change of pace of his character, or some internet smarts would be upset because maybe Aces and Eights was good at the time and Cena may be ruining it for them because he doesn't really fit the mold. I mean, he's wearing jean shorts and he wears like sweatbands. I mean, with Aces and Eights, it's like more biker status. So, you know, maybe some fans would not appreciate John Cena joining the group like that. So that's what I would think. But I think fans at home, fans in the arena would still be throwing trash just because they would be pissed off. Because a face turned heel, of course. Real Spider-Man the War fan asked me, what if there were no internet? Do you think we'd enjoy wrestling more today? No, see, the thing is, the internet is not ruining wrestling. It's the people inside of the business who are ruining professional wrestling. The internet, it tells us a lot more about wrestling than we should know, and it makes us think that we're smarter than most of the guys working in the back. But the thing is, the internet is not ruining professional wrestling. It's the people who are working for this company, the people who are writing the matches, the people who are directing the shows, booking the feuds. They're the ones ruining wrestling. I think that we would still be mad about professional wrestling today. I honestly don't think it's the internet's fault. You know, yeah, sometimes fans can get annoying at you. Sometimes fans can be annoying on the internet. But it's not like they're the ones like ruining wrestling. It's the people that are working behind the scenes who are ruining professional wrestling. If Kurt Cobain was still alive, would Nirvana still be around? I think we would probably get some Nirvana like in this day and age. I think like maybe they would have released an album at some point in time, but I don't think like we would have seen them like fully active. It would be more of like a, you know, like a summertime type of thing. Like, hey man, let's go do a tour. Yeah, for sure. Like I'm pretty sure they're all doing their own different gigs. I don't know where most of the Nirvana guys are at now, but I'm pretty sure there would be different gigs that they would be doing. So yeah. Why is Justin Bieber being a douche and getting booed? Is he the new John Cena being hated all over the world? Biebs is kind of getting to the point where people are kind of sick of him. See, the thing about Justin Bieber is he's more of like, you know, just a polarizing figure. I mean, it's just like his success is kind of weird. His story is not really touching, but people think it's touching. He's obviously somewhat talented to have the voice that he has, but it's not like Justin Bieber blows you away. I feel that Bieber is just kind of like, you know, just an anti-polarizing figure. Kind of like Cena. Like, you're not really amazed by John Cena, but, you know, some people like him, but you don't like him. It's kind of anti-polarization. I don't know. Like, people still tune in to see what the fucker's doing, so might as well, I guess. I guess he's the new John Cena being hated by the world. Thank you guys all for the questions. Now, moving on forward to John I think that's how I pronounce the name. How come all child stars become bad when they grow up? That's a good fucking question. I like that question. I honestly don't fucking know. It's ridiculous to me, but what I can assume, because I've never been a child star, what I can assume is that fame gets into their heads where, you know, yeah, they've had success, but once they reach that success level, once they reach that point, they think they can do anything in the world. And then when they realize that there's a lot more out there in the world, when there's a lot more talents out there as similar or better than them, they kind of can't handle that pressure, because just imagine all these Nickelodeon and Disney stars, or even like these kid shows that you see today. You know, they're very talented in the group they're surrounded by. But when they get into a bigger group, a bigger stage, they're not as talented. There's going to be more talented people out there. And then, you know, most of these people, especially young stars, they have a lot of backstories like that, you know, we don't even know about. Like maybe their mom forced them to become a child star. They didn't want to become on this TV show, but their mom wanted them to be an actor or actress. Or maybe they have done some things in the past they're not proud of. Or also drugs start to get into their system, because when they're growing up, you know, once they're done with TV, once they're done with this whole child star shit, you know, and they can't find another gig, they're just like us. They're just regular kids. They were on the TV show. They don't get their check till they're 18. You know, they are just like us. And so what happens is they start going into drugs, because when you don't have something that you love doing, or just something in general to keep you out of that scene, you start turning to something else that will make you happy. So that's why I think most child stars become bad when they grow up, because there's something else. What bad dreams have you had recently? I have good dreams. I haven't had a bad dream in a long ass time, so I can't answer that question. Ever been into a fight? Ever been into a fight in your life? Hell yeah, I've been into a fight. This one kid was making fun of my dad or some bullshit. I got pissed off at him. He was like a Arab kid, and we were playing football, and he just pissed me off. So I just decided, fuck you, man. I threw the football in his face, and then he came up and pushed me, and I was like, fuck you. And then and then we just were fighting, and I was pretty much winning most of the fight. And then afterwards, he got on top of me, and then afterwards I rolled through, and I was still hitting him, and he had to walk off, and they told the principal, and I didn't get suspended for it, surprisingly, because I had a good record, so they just gave me a Saturday school, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, that's the story. And Mr. Boquiria316 is asking me for the final question. Who is your favorite Latino wrestler ever? This is a hard-ass question. Hard-ass question. I would probably have to say it's a tie between Juventud Guerrera. From the stuff that I've seen from him, I really have enjoyed Juventud Guerrera, and Eddie Guerrero. That's a tie between both of those. I honestly cannot answer that I love one or the other. Like, if you guys haven't seen old Juventud shit, go watch that shit. That shit is balling, dude. He was great in WCW. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for sending in the questions. Remember, if you guys like me, you can subscribe by clicking the little icon or down below. Like this video. Show your support for me. Follow me on Twitter at ChaseOliver68. Check out my previous videos, my Raw and Extreme Rules review. That's pretty much it, all I have for you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Keep sending in those questions, people. Peace!